How about now? Best banter I've had in weeks, and completely messed up because there was no audio. For the people in the room here and the cats, look for inspiration in the things around me. What inspired me this week, what got me thinking this week was historical events that occurred around in this week. So we're going to do 3 cocktails that talk to momentous occasions around this week. None of those are my Miami Dolphins making it to the playoffs, which we haven't done since 2016. So no Miami Dolphins themed cocktails this week. Maybe later. What else? Oh, right, Privateer. We brought home this bottle of Privateer from New York, and we are going to toast and drink with some of it. It is rocking in at a little over 55% alcohol. So not only did I remember to open the bottle, but I remembered to pour a little out so it has had time to breathe and open up a little bit. Otherwise, it would be like drinking fire if you just open a bottle of 55% alcohol and start knocking it back. What else? I pulled up a bottle of Burrow bourbon, which we ought to be able to get here because it's relatively local distilled, but I have trouble doing so. And since we need bourbon to do one of the drinks this evening, I thought I would use that. It is Armagnac casked as opposed to the rum casking that we have elsewhere. And this is what remains of that Burrow bourbon pour for me. It's not what remains of the bottle, no. It would have to be an exceptional bourbon for, no. It wouldn't, I don't care how exceptional it was. I would not have drunk a 750 milliliter bottle of bourbon while prepping for the show. You might enjoy that, but I would not, certainly. I really do enjoy the Burrow products. I do think the rum cask is a little better than the Armagnac cask, though. There's a harsher edge to the Armagnac that I don't quite like. It's filled in by the vanilla notes from the rum casking. But that's not what we're going to start with. We are going to start with is a toast using the Privateer rum. Now, Privateer is actually a domestic rum producer. So that's well and cool and awesome as opposed to, oh my God, the cats are cute. Oh, they're sitting there in one of our rattan chairs, lying on the cushions, grooming each other. And they're directly in my sight line, or right past my sight line of the camera. So when I look down, I see these 2 cute kitties that are just loving on one another. And sorry. Yeah, apparently I can't find inspiration in 2 cute cats. I don't know what that does. Should I check on sound again? I'm good.
No, I'm not.
She's not. She might be out of power. That's what it is. She has no power.
So I will talk over here with you.
You will talk over me.
No, I will talk over here.
Oh, okay.
With you.
All right. So, Privateer, as far as I know, it's molasses-based. I have not done a whole lot of hunting around on the provenance and how it's created. PM Spirits, New York Barrel. Oh, cool. You know, it does not have... I'm not getting a ton of nose off of it, but that may have been just because it's been sitting for a while. And the nose that I am getting is pretty petrol.
Yes.
No, not petrol. Rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that's rubbing alcohol. So
It doesn't taste like rubbing alcohol.
It doesn't taste like isopropyl alcohol. Hey, I got nailed by the cat earlier. Maybe I should do that. I'll just do that. Ah, no. So that's interesting.
It's kind of hot.
It is kind of hot, because, but I mean,
yeah.
Your first taste is going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
If you think about tasting any liquor, and there are 3 sort of parts to it, right? There's the initial,
right?
And then there's that sort of middle as your palate's dealing with, well, what's here? And then there's finish. You've swallowed, and there's residual aromas and the like that are giving you. I find this one unusually sweet in the middle.
Yes.
Whereas usually with sweet rums, you get them right up front. It's just like, right on the tongue. It's like, oh, that's sweet. This doesn't have that. But it mellows really nicely on the sweetness in the middle.
Sharp. The initial is sharp. Middle is sweet. And the finish is more rounded. Last week
Feels like there's some oaking in here. It just feels like there's some wood, and I don't know how much. Feels like there's some oaking in here. It just feels like there's some wood, and I don't know how much time this is spent.
So last week I wanted to show off our new tiki ornaments, and I forgot.
Oh yeah,
So
single
we got this
casket.
one from Zach and Amy, and a
Tiny little Santa. Oh, it's just like this guy.
this one has an umbrella hat.
It's kind of like this guy,
Yeah.
but smaller, and you can't drink out of him. Right, I guess. Okay, so we've done our tasting. Privateer, it's an expensive bottle to mix with,
I don't know how I can do microphone.
right? Expensive bottle to mix
Yeah.
with, but it would make an exceptionally good mixing rum. Yeah, I think I would use this where I would use sort of my standard Spanish style, like Bacardi or a Puerto Rican style, other Puerto Ricans, maybe even a Cuban. It would be a good stand-in for a Cuban rum, I think. Yeah. Speaking of which, no Cuban rum. Not yet, anyway. There's potentials out there still, but yep, I'm still running low on my Cuban rum. Okay, so what are we going to do first? So the first event is, of course, this was the 1-year anniversary of January 6th. 1 year, right? God, has it only been a year? No. January 6th, right? The insurrection on the Capitol. And 2 year, right? So it turns out there is actually a cocktail called the Insurrection cocktail. So I thought what we would do is, why not? Let's do the Insurrection cocktail and see how it is.
Ooh, we have a comment.
We have a comment. Oh no. What did I do?
Cuban rum very soon.
Yes. Okay. No more comment on that. All right. We are going to take a mixing glass. So here we have one of the cut crystal mixing glasses. Right. So it's cut crystal. And we are going to put ingredients in there. We're going to add ice. We're going to stir it. And then we are going to strain it out into a drinking vessel. So what are we going to do? Well, we need a splash of simple syrup. Now, I think I want to go not quite just simple. I'm actually going to use a spiced demerara syrup for this. And part of my reasoning is the other ingredients that are going into this. Oh, I did say I was going to try and show you what ingredients go in these cocktails before actually making them, didn't I? Okay. So one, this requires bourbon. So we're going to use the Burro Armagnac cask bourbon. It uses nocino. Nocino is a walnut liqueur. It uses creme de cacao. It specifies the dark creme de cacao. Guess what? I don't have any of the dark creme de cacao. They're identical in flavor. So we're going to use the colorless creme de cacao. And then it uses some simple syrup. Now, in order to get the coloration right, I'm going to use the spiced demerara syrup instead of the simple syrup in order to balance the lack of color that is coming from the creme de cacao. How's that? Okay, so what we need is a bar spoon or thereabouts of simple syrup. So I'm going to take my 1/4 teaspoon here and go with that. There we go. There's a 1/4 teaspoon. So not a whole lot of sweet in this cocktail. None of these cocktails are going to be wowing you with their sweetness this evening. That's not going to happen. So I still have hopes that Star will enjoy some of this. And then we go with a 1/4 ounce of the creme de cacao. So 1/4 ounce here. Come on, 1/4 ounce creme de cacao. So there's cacao, so there's chocolate, so Star might like that. What else we got? Nocino, also 1/4 ounce. Yeah, not so sure how she feels about walnut liqueur. But we'll see. Frankly, I'm not so sure how I feel about walnut liqueurs. There's the Nocino. That got loud. And then we have 1 full ounce of bourbon. Bourbon.
Bourbon?
Bourbon. Quintessential American product. Nobody else can make bourbon. There we go. Because there, we need some ice. I'm also trying out a new stacked arrangement for my ice, so we'll see how that goes. Stir stick. Why not? Cthulhu? Yeah, I think Cthulhu is in order for the Insurrection cocktail. So if you watch How to Drink It All, Greg quite recently mentioned that one of the things that he does when he is stirring cocktails is that he will put a finger up against the glass so that he can tell when that is getting cold. There's also a couple of other ways that you can usually tell when this is getting close to being done. One is how smooth your spoon is moving through the ice. There's some resistance, and then you reach a point where it's like, oh, it's smooth, it's just going through with no problem. How cold are we getting? We're getting some frost on the glass, that's good. Take a sip. Wow, that's I could drink more of these, maybe. That's really interesting. Huh. Okay, we're going to do that. I am going to just strain this using our julep strainer. Nice and viscous. All right, there we go. To the best of my knowledge, there is no sort of canonical garnish for this. So, we can always reach for a Luxardo. It's not going to hurt anything, right? 1 Luxardo cherry. And we're going to go take this. Go here, because if I dump it in, we're just going to get a lot of the Luxardo juice in there. We don't want that, so that's going to drop right in there. Ta-da. And voila! We have 1 Insurrection cocktail. I'm not sure, the color looks about right from the pictures that I've seen of the Insurrection cocktails, but I don't know that, quite frankly, the darker creme de cacao would give us any change in color from using the spiced Demerara syrup. Well, that's a grown-up, sophisticated drink. That's got a wonderful complexity.
So it's obviously not my type of drink because it's very boozy forward and it's very bourbon.
That nutty Nocino final note is really nice.
But of spirit forward drinks,
You would drink that.
I dislike this less.
Great. Well, I'm going to have to make her a drink after tonight's show. I can tell. That's how things are going to go. Did you want to taste the bourbon by itself? That's what's there.
No.
Well, now you have. So I actually quite like this. I think if you are looking for a just sit down and swirl your coupe with a nice glass of something that isn't sort of your standard Manhattan or old-fashioned, this is actually quite nice. Unlike Insurrections in general, which are not nice at all. This is. I have no idea why you would give this the name, the Insurrection cocktail. No clue. There's no fire. There's no destruction. This is actually quite lovely, well balanced. It's definitely bourbon forward. The sweetness that is added from the spiced Demerara syrup, I think, is a really nice choice here. It adds a depth that you might be missing with the simple syrup. And I think Star would like this even less with just simple syrup in it. So there we go. There's the Insurrection cocktail.
Amanda says it looks like a nice drink to have on 4th of July.
Well, there's an interesting juxtaposition of events for you. The Insurrection cocktail on the 4th of July, as opposed to January 6th. That is going to be the last of our stirred drinks. So that'll make Star happy. This next drink is brought to you by what I think is one of the other major events that happened this week, which was watching Kevin McCarthy try and achieve the Speaker of the House position through 15 separate votes to do that.
Didn't make me popcorn. I requested popcorn and he didn't feel like it.
I did not make her popcorn to watch the 14th and 15th vote. I was hoping to go to bed, and I really didn't want any popcorn. I was so full because we'd eaten Italian the night before. That night we ate Italian, and I was just like, no, I don't want. No, thank you. No. So no, I didn't make her popcorn. I didn't make her popcorn at any point during that week. But 14th vote, there was apparently some thought that Representative Getz was going to vote, as opposed to voting present, was going to vote for Kevin McCarthy and put McCarthy over the top. McCarthy and the rest of his supporters clearly thought they had it on the 14th vote. Getz voted present instead, and they didn't. And so we are going to do a cocktail which is kind of based on the last word, and kind of based on a version of the last word that is called the penultimate word, so not quite the last word. And I'm just going to call this the last present for sake of amusement here. So what are we going to do with this? So this requires simple syrup, but things were kind of fruity and weird going on, so what we're going to do is, instead of the simple syrup, plain old ordinary simple syrup, we have a pineapple oleosaccharum that we're going to use here. Because, pineapple of hospitality, right? Ha ha ha. Lime juice, so we need lime juice. Then we start to get into the familiar territory of a last word, which requires Luxardo, requires chartreuse, but in this case, instead of going with green chartreuse, we're going to go with yellow chartreuse. Why? I don't really know, but when I was looking at the ingredients for the penultimate word, something said to me, use the yellow, don't use the green. Now part of this may be that in moving from the penultimate, from the last word, you are swapping out gin for agave spirits. So we are going to go 1 part Terramana tequila and 1 part the Game of Death mezcal, because I think that's appropriate. So this is all what's going into the cocktail, and just because I think it's amusing, I'm actually going to use a snifter glass, dun dun dun, for this cocktail. Not because we're not using the snifter because it's amusing. I think that burning up the plans of Kevin McCarthy for that 14th vote requires there to be a little smoke in this cocktail. And I want some more smoke than we're just going to get from the mezcal. So what I have here is a pine board, and I don't know if you can tell because I've got stuff in the way. Way too much stuff in the way. Over here, yeah, you can't see. But I'm burning up the pine board here. Got some flames going, and I'm just going to take and invert this glass over that. And so there will be some smoke that will develop in there. I'm going to have to give that a little more oomph.
And it has to be an untreated pine board.
Yes, yeah, well please, make sure it is an untreated pine board. If it is a treated pine board, you will poison your guests and friends and yourself, and you don't want to do that. All right, there we go. That's what we wanted.
Amanda says the word before the last word.
The word, yes, that's the penultimate word,
Yep.
right? This is the word before the penultimate word, I guess, would be. Although this was the last word for that one. We thought it was going to be the last word for the night.
We did.
Because then they started to adjourn, and then things went weird, and then there was a deal and stuff. So here we go. We're going to make the last present for this cocktail. And this is a shaken cocktail. So we're going to go ahead and use, we haven't used this shaker in a while. This is my octopus topped shaker. Right? So we are going to use that. So this requires a ½ ounce of the simple syrup. Here we're using the pineapple oleo. Ta-da, that goes over there. We need 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Three-quarters of an ounce of lime juice. So I don't know if you've noticed, probably haven't because I'm kind of far away from the camera, but these guys, these little lensy things, these are new, brand new, got them over the weekend, never been on camera before lenses. And wow, they're already dirty. So here's the lenses, right? You can see those, my wonderful progressive lenses. I quite like them. They also are transitions, so if one of these lights suddenly goes wonky and shines right in my face, they will transition to a nice dark color. Unfortunately, I'm still nearsighted, which means doing any of the close-up work that I'm doing here is actually easier without the glasses on.
You also have your Christmas earrings on.
I do have Christmas earring. So this earring was from many Christmases ago. This is a snowflake earring. But this earring over here, this great big dangly earring here, yeah, this is concentric rings of made to look like bamboo. Two of them are sort of gold in color, and one of them is silver in color, concentric around one another. So that was a Christmas present. Yeah, I do have full sets of both of those, but you know, why not? Okay, so we've got lime juice in here. We've got simple syrup. We need Luxardo, right? Okay, Luxardo next. ½ ounce of Luxardo. Seems like in a number of classic cocktails, Luxardo, which comes in at 32% by volume alcohol, is used as a sweetening ingredient. I don't necessarily find it to be terribly sweet, but it is sweet enough to act as a sweetening agent. So we'll pour a little of the Luxardo. It's also, bartenders really love Luxardo. It is pretty sweet. I'm not sure that it's a home bar. You know, if you're just starting out, I'm not so sure I'd be reaching for the Luxardo so quick, unless you really have a passion for those cocktails that use Luxardo in them. It's more of an ingredient that makes things happen together than anything you're going to use singly, right?
We will always have it because I'm an aviation fan.
Right. Well, okay, so apparently these glasses are helping because that is just a little too far away for me to read ingredients. Wow, that really does help. Okay, ½ ounce. So apparently my doctor did a good job. ½ ounce yellow chartreuse. The yellow chartreuse has, I think, a lower ABV, if I'm right, than the green chartreuse, although they're both pretty up there. The yellow is 43%, and the formula is slightly different. So it has many of the same herbal components to it, but it is just slightly different. Okay, so we got the simple syrup, we got the lime juice, we got the Luxardo, we got the chartreuse, mezcal, and tequila, and we're going a ½ ounce of each. So ½ ounce of the Terramana. This is the Rocks tequila. I don't know how you feel about Dwayne Johnson. Don't really care. We kind of enjoy him around here. He's kind of fun to watch. And we have not yet seen Black Adam, although we have been told as recently as today that we really ought to go out and see Black Adam. And I think we have HBO Max, so we can actually do that. So there's Terramana. And then we need a ½ ounce of mezcal. And there we go. There's a ½ ounce of the Game of Death. Peloton de la Muerte. We need ice for this, right? Yep, because we're going to shake this. That's all that goes in there. That's all, yeah. Well, this is not a tiki cocktail. It has things in common with tiki cocktail. You're doing the split base there between 2 different types of agave spirits. You've got a ½ different ingredients there. Yeah, this, while it's certainly not a tiki cocktail, it's in the family. Not in terms of flavor profile or spirits, but just in how it's constructed. It's right in line with the sorts of things that you would think of for tiki cocktails. Drinking problem, sorry. That's still way good. And it's now down all of my front. Oh well. Nice and cold. Oh, that's almost hard to hold. And we are going to pop this open just like that.
We have a Keith.
Hey, Keith. Okay, we are going to double strain this. So here's my Hawthorne strainer. And the reason you're double straining this in this case is because A, there's probably some pulp left over from the lime juice, and B, you've got really microfine shards of, I almost said glass, ice in there, and you don't want those in the cocktail. So here we go. We're going to whip this over with the smoke. You can see the smoke coming off of there. And then we're going to pour this right in. There you go. Here we have the last present in honor of the 14th vote. It's kind of a luminescent green. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because of the green lights here. Oh, wow, that's... You gotta sniff this. This is I don't know what that nose is. It's... Like, what is that? I don't know. I can't place any of that.
It's got to be the smoke and the chartreuse.
And the Luxardo. That's weird.
That is a beautiful nose with the smoke and the...
Yeah.
It is bizarre.
It is very bizarre. It is not like anything I have ever smelled before. Oh my gosh, what is this?
Well, alcohol forward with mezcal and tequila, I'm going to be fine with. It's bourbon and rye.
Oh, that nose is lovely. Oh,
Isn't it
that nose. That nose is awesome. And it wouldn't be that nose without the smoke. Absolutely. Oh, that's really nice. That's a variation on the last word that but you're switching out the base from gin to not just mezcal. And I'm glad I did a split of the mezcal and the tequila.
Mm-hmm.
This almost comes across to me as like a tequila limeade.
In a campfire.
Sitting around a campfire? Sure. That smoke does a weird thing to it. I can't tell if that's smoke.
No, what it? Okay. It's in visual. Campfire at a carnival grounds. You know, like where you've been there, and there's the like all the fried foods and the oversweet cherry ices, and then there's.
She's not making this sound good.
And then there's you've gone to Demolition Derby, and then you're at the concert of the Sellout afterwards. The fair at Lawrence, and there's the fire pits around to warm up because it gets kind of cold at night.
It's like a 50-gallon drum
Yes.
of like crap that people have put in it that's now burning.
Yeah.
And
So that.
she's really selling this cocktail to you, isn't
But
she?
no, that there's
a-
the sticky sweet and the smoke and the.
It's a redneck last word, is what it is.
It is Republican last word.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Now, while the events that we're talking about are very definitely political, I'm trying to be very good here.
I understand, but
We
it
don't.
was an opening I had to take.
We just don't generally take too much of a stand here, because when the when the old ones come, it ain't gonna matter. This may have to go on
In the book.
in the book. I think at some point we're going to put together just a collection of cocktails that we remarked on of like, oh, this one's a keeper. Oh, we need to keep this one. Oh, we need to revisit this one. Yeah, I think that goes into that book. Okay, so that's 2 cocktails that we have done this evening. There we go. We are down to one last cocktail, and before we do that, I need something. What do I need? Oh, I need to drink some water. That would be a good idea. Yep. Very cool mug. Yep. Cool mug here. Yeah. That I'm currently drinking water out of. Water and ice. Stay hydrated, folks. We are working our way up to the Inhuele Tiki conference, Tiki convention. So needing to work on being able to stay hydrated. I don't think anybody's going to be serving cocktails with no Chino in them at the.
You never know.
But we never know, right? Very boozy, very reminiscent of a Manhattan in its flavor, but with a nutty component at the end. Yeah, that reminds me of a Manhattan strongly. The last present, really, that's just, I don't know, the redneck last word might just be it, might be the description for it. Okay, so last cocktail. This cocktail is based off of a classic cocktail that you can find in the Savoy cocktail book, which is like the cocktail book. Thank you very much, Zach, by the way, for turning me on to that. There are a lot of Savoy cocktail books out there that are nothing more than photographs or photocopies of the pages of an actual Savoy cocktail book. And that's in fact what I have, is each page is just a photocopy of a page from the actual Savoy cocktail book. Goes back quite some time to the Henry Craddock days. And one of the cocktails in there is something called a loudspeaker. And when I was reading descriptions of this, there was some discussion as to whether or not this was just a long-lost cocktail, or this was one of those cocktails that just really wasn't all that good, and therefore kind of got moved to the wayside. Like somebody thought this up, and then others went, "Yeah, that's not good. We shouldn't be drinking that." So we're going to do that this evening, except that we're doing a variation on it. All right, so this cocktail has lemon juice, it has Cointreau, it has brandy, and it has gin in it. One of the descriptions of this cocktail is that the brandy and the gin are having a loud argument with one another, and the Cointreau and the lemon are just hiding under the sheets waiting for the shouting to stop. As a consequence, there have been variations done on this to try and cut back on the overwhelming amount of brandy and gin, because it was like, what, an ounce and a half of brandy and an ounce and a half of gin, and then like half an ounce of lemon and half an ounce of Cointreau. And they were just like, we hear this little tiny voices over here in the corner while brandy and gin are yelling at each other. And I was like, I can see that. Yeah, that might. So this recipe, and I'm sorry, I do not remember the website that I took this from, has got lemon juice in it. We are going to swap out the Cointreau for Curacao. The brandy, we are actually not going to use brandy. We're going to use not a standard brandy. We're going to use cognac, but we are going to use a good cognac. We're going to use the Pierre Ferrand Ambre, which is it's a little pricier than the 1840, and for that price, I'm not sure that it's actually worth that additional price for making cocktails, but we're going to do it anyway. And then for the gin, what did I decide to do for the gin? There was something. Oh, right. Joining the Speaker of the House Club is kind of like, I mean, it's joining an old boys club at this point to a large degree. Nancy Pelosi accepted. So I thought we would go with an Old Tom or an Old Tomcat gin. We're going to go with the Bar Hill gin here. So we've got gin, we've got brandy, we have dry Curacao, and then we have lemon juice over here somewhere. Lemon juice. These are our 4 ingredients going into our cocktail shaker. So 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. You know what, let me rinse this real quick. Boy howdy, if you've got a home bar and you don't have one of those little, I don't know what to call them, little squirty things.
Drink rinser.
Drink rinser. Get one. They're really nice. Okay, 3/4 of an ounce lemon juice. So this is what I hate about the progressives, is like, oh, it's really nice because you can see close up. You just have to bend your head just right to look. It's like, oh yes, but I'm looking down through my glasses. Oh, yeah. Yeesh. That just gives me the screaming willies doing that. Okay, Curacao, 3/4 of an ounce. Uh-oh. There we go. 3/4 of an ounce Pierre Ferrand dry Curacao. I should make mention, I did not make any of these drinks ahead of time, so I have no idea what the flavor profile, well, I have some idea because I have drunk many similar things before, but really, each of these drinks, I don't know exactly how that flavor profile is going to work out. One of the nice things about the loudspeaker in this variation, which we're actually just calling the Mr. Speaker, is that everything is 3/4 of an ounce, so it's easy to remember. Equal portions, lemon, Curacao, brandy, and gin. So 3/4 of an ounce Ambre cognac. Because, I mean, if you're joining the Speaker of the House Club, it's got to be cognac, right? I mean, it can't be just some random brandy. Rando brandy. And then the Old Tom. And 3/4 of an ounce. I just got through saying everything is equal proportions. I didn't need to look over at the board. 3/4 of an ounce. I have to say the pine board is still giving off scent. So there's still smoke of the burning pine that is entering my nostrils here. Probably throwing off the flavor profiles completely. Maybe not. Ice. Obviously shaken cocktail. I do hear tell, some people have said, hey, you're supposed to put the ice in the large tin and then you pour the liquid in there, and that way you're absolutely sure that it won't overflow, but you can get more ice in there. Okay, I'm not sure I have any problem with my cocktails diluting, so I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot. So it's just going to go in here. We're going to shake. For whatever reason, this is the drink I am most worried about. Probably because the descriptions of the actual loudspeaker cocktail are not particularly good descriptions. They're not particularly happy. So we're just going to stick this in here. Try this. Meh. Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did before. Double strain into this lovely Nick and Nora glass, brought to us by Amanda. It's got the tikis on the stem, which is awesome. I gotta say, the spoon tasting that I did was not terribly encouraging. I mean, I don't think it wasn't bad, but I was like, well, I was hoping for more. Which, I mean, maybe this makes it a perfect cocktail to commemorate the outcome of the 15th vote. I don't know. So let's give this a taste. It also looks like it's dying for an egg white, doesn't it? I mean, it's like, shouldn't there be foam on top of that? That's a no. That's a no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not liking that.
Making the face.
Like, can I rescue this? Is there something I can add to this to rescue it? Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to get some of the San Pellegrino Arancia orange and pull it out. Orange soda.
Do you want me to go get it?
No, I think this might be a lost cause. Hold on a second. Molasses, peppery stone fruit. Good for old fashions, Negronis, Manhattans, and whiskey sours. This is the exorcism bitters. We're going to try and exorcise some of the bad flavors. I'm going to just put a dash in there. What the hell? We like bitters, right? Let's go with 2 dashes. Well, the nose on that got better almost instantly. Stir that around a little. How'd we do? You know, there's way too much lemon in that. Yeah, I'm not sure that helped. No. Oh, that absolutely helped. Oh, wow. Wow. 2 dashes was the right call. I still don't think I like it.
Maybe layers instead of cognac?
Oh, that's maybe for a different person. I think that works. Maybe for a different party. I don't know. Did I say that? I'm sorry.
Bruce says add some falernum.
No. I think we don't want to get too far off of this flavor profile. I think the falernum, adding the lime and the cloves to this. Yeah. Star, what do you think of this one? Now that I've added the exorcism bitters to it.
I don't know if I want to try something that made you make the face.
Well, you've seen me make the face before, although it's usually because it's sweet. This one isn't sweet. This reminds me of pith. The white inside of citrus. Yeah. And it's better. It's better than it was. I mean, maybe Bruce, you're onto something. Maybe the addition of some sweetness to this wouldn't be too bad. I don't think it needs any more flavors, so I don't want to add like Luxardo to this, right? Honey? How about honey? So I was like, I don't care. I'm not drinking any more of that thing. Whatever it is, I'm not drinking any more of it. Stay. Let's go with a 1/4 ounce.
Or just plain simple?
No, let's go honey syrup. 1/4 ounce honey syrup. And then, I mean, this is edging into bee's knees territory here, right? That's what that's doing with the addition of the honey. I think this is somebody's drink. It's just not mine. Although it's probably only somebody's drink with the exorcism bitters. I really think that it needs that. It needed this extra jolt of bitters to it.
Amanda says yes. Go well with the Bar Hill.
It will. It's just a matter of whether or not it goes with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so first of all, the loudspeaker is supposedly significantly worse than this variation I was trying, where I kind of swapped out the old Tom gin for the regular gin. And we didn't like the new version. We added the bitters to make it a little bit better, but still not the drink that we want. So now we've added some honey syrup to it, and we're going to try it again and see if we can get this into the realm of something that is okay. Is okay with us. Like I said, I think it was the Mr. Speaker, the version I had just previously. I think with the addition of the exorcism bitters is somebody's drink, just not mine. Certainly not Star's. It's better, but it kind of destroys the character of it. The sweetness takes away from the various bitter and sour notes to it, and so it transforms it into a different drink that is like, I mean, I drink it, but I wouldn't be unhappy with it, but I'm not like, yippee! I mean, it probably needs rum. Like, 3 ounces of rum added to that would be tasty. So what have we learned today? We can make a stirred drink that Star is okay with. You can, in fact, make a version of the last word with mezcal and tequila that is actually quite yummy. Star's still drinking that, provided you use smoke. And we have discovered that the loudspeaker and people's versions of the loudspeaker and their opinions of the loudspeaker appear to be pretty spot on. Like I said, if your drink tastes vary considerably from mine, maybe the Mr. Speaker is an okay cocktail for you. Give it a shot. But I wouldn't run out and buy ingredients to make this particular cocktail. So Old Tom gin, some cognac, some dry curacao, and some lemon juice. Equal portions. Give it a shot. Throw in a couple of dashes of your favorite bitters. See what you think. If you don't have any of those ingredients, don't run right out and try and make that cocktail. It's okay. Like I said, not mine. Somebody else's. All right, that's what we got.
So adding honey is like throwing a beehive into the chamber?
Throwing a beehive into the chamber. So I have to ask, is that a reference to the beehive shotgun round? Or is that like throwing a beehive into the chamber of the House of Representatives? So I don't know which one was intended, but maybe it's the same effect. I don't know. Let me try this again. No, just not for me. You would think that these ingredients would be something that I would go for, but no. And in fact, now that the honey does... Okay. initial flavor, and no. Develops kind of mild flavor as sort of milk toast. So like, why am I drinking this? There's nothing special here. At the end, you start to get the honey coming in with the gin, and it kind of finishes on sort of a bee's knees note. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Next time I should order a bee's knees. So I think if this doesn't quite make it for your taste profile, but there's some element of it that you like, try a bee's knees, and I think you'll be much, much happier than we were with the Mr. Speaker cocktail, which is an improved version, although only mildly, over the loudspeaker. And I cannot imagine that doubling the gin and brandy components of this would make this cocktail any better. In fact, I think they're exactly right. It would only make it worse. All right, so there we go. There we have it. We've tasted some bourbon. We've tasted some rum. We've done 3 cocktails: the Insurrection cocktail, simple syrup, creme de cacao, walnut liqueur, nochillo, and bourbon. We've done the last present with simple syrup, lime juice, luxardo, yellow chartreuse, mezcal, and tequila. And I think I'm right here that the yellow chartreuse is a better call than the green chartreuse. Green chartreuse would have overpowered it. And the last, and in this case, the least of the cocktails, the Mr. Speaker, a variation on the loudspeaker, lemon, curacao, brandy, and gin. All right, see you all next week, right? We're going to be around next week. We will be doing this next week. So
I don't know where we are broadcasting from.
Okay, Star says we don't know where we're broadcasting from next week.
We could be broadcasting on the way back.
Oh my God. Oh, that's true.
We could be broadcasting from maps. Who knows?
Who knows? Yes, we will be broadcasting. It probably isn't going to be from the home bar, though. But yeah,
maybe. Don't know.
We see. So hang in there. We'll see what the broadcast is. If you're enjoying these broadcasts, please like and subscribe. No, wait, no, that's YouTube. Just send me a note. Let me know that you're liking these, and stay tuned to the Facebook channel because we may have to fudge also the time at which we're broadcasting next week. So until then, drink up some daggone good cocktails and remember to hydrate, because hydration good. And we will see you in the future, provided we have one. So end live video now. Oh, I need to drink something. Oh no, the only cocktail I have. Oh wait, no, I still have Privateer. I was like, no, the only cocktail I have to drink is the last word. It's the Mr. Speaker. No. All right, end live video. In which case, I'm going to be drinking. Here we go.